last video, we've completely finished wrapping the car. I'm so excited to share the results with you. I've got a lot more exciting videos to come, so if you like this, please subscribe. But let's take a look at everything that has been accomplished. And at the end, I'm going to tally up roughly how much I've spent restoring this car. I started the restoration in 2022, and I'll tell you everything that I did. But let's go. Who knew these little devils would be so horrific to wrap? Well, I kind of had an idea. I got one done. I thought it was going to take 12 minutes. It took 38 minutes. I got the other one I'm going to bang out right now. Also can be used as a club, so if anybody walks by and tells me it looks bad. If this doesn't look fun, it's because it's not. It's hard to believe that this little piece covered in random wrap is actually going to come out to be anything visually appealing. But watch how this magic happens. A lot of heating and pulling and burning my fingers. Soon enough, you'll have a spoiler. In all seriousness, it is extremely difficult to wrap these while they're mounted to the car, so I do prefer wrapping them off, but the only problem is that there's no anchor, so it's hard to stretch wrap over them when there's nothing that they're anchored to, if that makes any sense. Look, don't crucify me for what you're about to see here. I've wrapped, maybe 5 spoilers my whole life, and it's never easier. Sometimes you just gotta straddle it, you gotta use your knees, your core, your butt cheeks, whatever it takes to get the job done. I am willing, open, and able. Time to attach the spoiler back on, so I'm going to be putting in some new mounting studs on this bad boy. I call this day the day of reckoning. It's the day that all my hopes and dreams were completely crushed by, unfortunately, the horrible fitment of this spoiler. So I had to go and get a bunch of nuts and bolts and studs and stuff because the kit didn't come with any, and the OEM ones are a part of the original spoiler, so you can't pull them out. Going to install the top spoiler, I realized that it's extremely difficult to hold this down and put it up there. My arms are completely losing all circulation. My good neighbor Dan, retired firefighter, he lent his hand. but I can tell by the look on his face that even he thought it looked like a piece of shit. I think at least that's what that look on his face is. Oh, behold. God, it's vomit. It's vomit. There's gapping, there's all kinds of stuff. It's bad. It's bad, and I knew it was going to be bad, but I persisted, and it's all gotta go. It's all gotta go. I wrapped the aftermarket spoiler. Spent 3 days on it, installed it, fit so bad, unsalvageable. Took it off last night, starting to wrap the original spoiler, and I'm gonna install it back on. You can't win them all, right? Original spoiler, I'm going to make sure that all the studs are secured inside these plastic holes, because it, you know, it's like it's 1991, pretty old plastic, so I'm doing a little JB weld in each hole before I insert the studs back in. I'm gonna let it dry for a couple hours before I start to wrap it, because if I'm gonna put this thing back on, I want it to stay. To say that I was bummed having to wrap another spoiler is a drastic understatement. I was pretty devastated that I had to go through this terrible situation all over again. I did learn a little bit of a trick though. I wrapped the ends, and then I wrapped the big piece because it helps seal in the ends. And look, my neighbor laid out a big card table for me, which made it a lot easier, so, you know, very kind of him. I had a lot of trouble with humidity this day, and I just wanted to get it done, so I did blow through a panel of wrap because there was so much moisture in the air, it inhibited the wrap from sticking. I should have just waited another day, but I was so bummed from the tall spoiler not fitting. I just wanted to get this one done. And you know how it is when you persist and rush and should wait. It's, you know, we pay for it. But it's the child in me that says, no, keep on going. I'm like the Energizer Bunny here. I keep on going. You know, when you're in the suck, just keep on going. And I've got to wrap these little pieces. These ones were a lot easier because I had experience, but I still had to do them in like 14 different pieces. But the wrap stuck pretty darn good. And again, having a little bit of, I call it like the doodads. These little things are like doodads. I wrap doodads, and it's not fun. Hallelujah! So with the doodads wrapped and the long thingamajong wrapped, I can finally install this spoiler back on, and once I do, I can add my tail lights back in. So it's a pretty darn exciting day, to say the least. Again, my arms are losing circulation, but it's for a worthy cause, so I'll walk around with dead arms any day. So close I can taste it, just installing my plastic pieces back in before I step back and take a look at my 91 Camaro masterpiece. Beep, beep, beep. There you have it. So it wraps up my near and dear 91 Camaro wrap, and you know, I first decided to really apply myself and learn how to wrap in January when I purchased a 2003 Mustang. I thought this is going to be the car that I learned how to wrap with, and I did. I got a few other cars under my belt, and that's when I decided to go ahead and tackle this project. I wanted to be good enough where I was really, you know, proud of my work on this car, since it's my baby and so near and dear to my heart. If any of you are thinking of wrapping your F-body 3rd gen Camaro, feel free to reach out. I've got a lot of tips. Most of it was pretty straightforward, but there were definitely some areas that make you want to pull your hair out. But we've got a lot more projects to do on this car. It's a lifelong journey. It'd be sad if it was over. So check back and we'll do some more stuff. In the meantime, let's run down everything that I've done so far on this car. All right, hold on to your seat for the total that I've spent. Well, I need a project car for next year, something that's mildly, you know, in need of restoration, but not like, you know, a roller. So I don't know, I really want my list of cars to look for next. Firehawk, a 5th gen Camaro, like 2012, 2015-ish. A 1993 Camaro, I love those. I don't know, we'll see. I gotta start saving money, which means I need to stop spending all of my money that I don't have on car parts. So let's talk about what I've put into my Camaro over the years. I'm gonna read it off of this list because I can't memorize it. I replaced the fuel tank straps, I replaced the rear springs, I replaced the fuel pump, I did a rear disc brake conversion, I bought the whole kit for that. I added Corbeau harnesses, I replaced all the shocks and struts with Koni shocks and struts. I added Corbeau racing seats, and also I needed the seat brackets. Stickers, those are quite costly. I rock replica wheels. I replaced most of the lines that you see in the engine bay with braided steel hoses and fittings. I purchased a new distributor, hooker headers, several sets of spark plugs, of course, new ignition coil. It's a new hood. The front spoiler lip is new. The emblem is new. I replaced the overflow tank twice. First with the plastic ones, then with a nice aluminum one. All the weather stripping, replaced that. Obviously the vinyl wrap, I did that. Front tires, rear tires, which literally broke my wallet. Tire stickers, little hood bumper stops, those were $8, and I'm trying to add up everything. Lots of paint, lots of primer, my new air cleaner, coolant cap, another $8. Throttle cable bracket, new throttle cable, a fan relay wiring from Painless Wiring, a new water neck, a fuel pressure regulator, the distributor hold down clamp, fuel filter, various pipe plugs, various bolts and manifold bolts, a carburetor, that was a lot of money, manifold gaskets, carb studs, valve covers, valve cover bolts, AC bypass pulley, a new dipstick, lots of heat shield. I got lots of heat shielding. The various exhaust work that I had to have done because I can't weld yet, that added up. Bulbs and flashers, rear lights and LED bulbs, front turn signals, front LEDs, the inner deflectors, a front grille, the master cylinder kit because I did a brake booster delete, lots of interior bolts, third brake light trim, fan mounting bracket, new radiator, various switches for the interior because the paint had rubbed off the existing ones, a radiator support, radiator rubbers, AC delete panel, door panels, I bought new door panels, sound deadening mat, so expensive, light bezels, headliner, I bought a new headliner, the Hot Licks, the flame kit that you see, that was expensive. Rear seat covers, man, those were like $400 and I paid $700 to get them installed because I couldn't do it, I didn't want to do it. The harness bar, new window motors, front brakes, and then I did spend some money with paying for a mechanic to do some things that I got stuck with, so I call that the SOS expense, or like phoning the lifeline. Anyways, I'm probably forgetting, you know, something. I don't know. I'm probably forgetting something, right? But all of that I just listed off comes out to a whopping $20,850. So yeah, it's kind of, it was eye-opening to like look up. In my head, I calculated like maybe 12,000, but as I started going through all my receipts and everything, I was like, whoa! But that's not just money spent on the car. That's the memories, the fun. I mean, I wouldn't trade that in for the world. I know it's a down payment on a new Camaro, but who cares? Like, this is my baby, and I do it all again and more. I mean, I'll keep spending money on it as soon as this, you know, knock on wood, if this motor ever blows, the first thing I'm gonna do is swap it out, and it's not gonna be an LS. It's gonna be like, you know, like a big block, something just rough and rugged and cool, and I'm gonna do it myself. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. This was fun. Alright, see you later. Bye.